Peace and Black Power, folks. We are here at Akabula Mind Studio, and we have three guests, three gentlemen that are going to speak about a movement, about why they feel a particular approach is a benefit. The gentleman who's most kind of the center of the firestorm at the early point is our brother Newsome, who's right here. And he is going to articulate some of the most recent occurrences and his responses. But then we have some other soldiers in the ranks that will give their firsthand account of movement, of struggle, of what has motivated them, of what has drawn them, and why they feel it's important to represent red, black, and green, as well as the movement they have built or building and have adopted. So that's how we're going to start. So, brothers, this again, for folks who may have been on another planet and haven't gotten to know you, just give your names and a little brief history about who you are.
My name is Hawk Newsome. I'm the president of Black Lives Matter of Greater New York, the most active activist organization in New York City.
Okay, brother.
My name is S.T.A.I.R.W.A.Y. I'm the director of community engagement with Black Lives Matter New York. And also, along with Black Lives Matter in New York, I'm also a founder of my own organization, Young Black Scholars YBS.
Okay.
One of my scholars right here.
Okay.
Young scholar Kareem Estes, brother Kareem, young protege of Aries the Voice, Young Black Scholars.
Excellent. Okay. So you gentlemen kind of represent a nice kind of age range too of what thought is politically or about what our situation is. So, but first, at the top of the things we're going to address, this most recent occurrence that took place surrounding activity you participated in. Now, I would want you to give the background as to how the participation occurred and just lay out what took place for those who may not know the whole story or only may have heard one possibly biased narrative.
Saturday before last, there was a mother of all rallies happening in Washington, D.C. We organized Black Lives Matter of Greater New York initially to go there, but we found out that there was another rally in Richmond, Virginia, over a statue of Robert E. Lee. So we felt that our presence would be more impactful there. So we reached out to local Black Lives Matter groups in that area, and we linked up with folks that morning. We had a march through the city of Richmond. We ended at a church about a block away from the statue. So it was interesting. Just so you'll know, it seems like the city of Richmond is founded around this statue, which is it's kind of like an homage. It's a celebration of our oppression. But I digress. So we stopped in front of a church. We had a few speeches, and they said, "We're stopping here, but if any of you want to go to the statue, then you go ahead. We're staying here." So Black Lives Matter, Greater New York, we are organizers. Like, organizing is what we do first and foremost. So we organized the folks there, went to the statue. It wasn't that engaging. Few Confederates, white supremacists there with guns, but it wasn't Charlottesville. So we left there. On the way back home, Angelique Negroni Kearse was driving. There was a reporter who's in that car with us that gives the same account, a reporter, an unbiased reporter by the name of Chauncey Alcorn. He was in the car with us. And I woke up and we're near DC, and Angie's like, "Oh my God, I've never been here." Angie lost her husband in police brutality 4 months ago, and we brought national attention to his death. And just to show you how we move, this woman isn't a pawn or a pony that we bring out for show. No, she asked us for help. Now she's part of this movement, traveling with us, fighting with us. Angie had to use the bathroom. She'd never been to DC before. We're right here. Let's go over to the mother of all rallies and start some shit. Let's let our presence be felt. We go. People were congratulating, cheering us on.
Can I just jump in just a little, and just so folks can maybe understand the forethought. Now, a decision like that, it's made independently, or is it part of a larger strategy, or was it like, you know what, we're near this, let's see what kind of impression we can make, or how would you explain
It was like,
decision?
we in DC. What's up? Y'all want to do this? People in the back, about 8-10 people in the back of the van. Yeah, what's up? Whatever, let's do it. That type of thing. It wasn't like, oh, let's. We in the middle of DC. It's regular people, right? We're not like gonna sit down at a panel and call a vote.
Right.
So it's like you and your friends in a car, and you just left one bar, and it's like, yo, we going to another club? It's like, let's go.
But
right?
now, but everyone was aware that the numbers would be, because, you know, you said like what, almost like 80 to 1, 100 to 1.
100 to 1.
Right.
Actually, yeah. And all these people, think about this. All these people signed up to go to Richmond, Virginia to protest white supremacists who had guns. They didn't sit in New York City and talk bad about the people who are actually doing the work. Okay? The people in New York City, some of whom was at a meeting this week, have been quoted as saying, I was afraid to go. White supremacists ain't kicking my ass. Well, we ride. We were in Charlottesville, mixing it up. There's footage of me taking on white supremacists. There's footage of other members in the group getting it on white supremacy. People talk about black power. We embody black power. We build black power. Don't talk to me about black power if you just marching when you feel like it and you ain't running no real programs and you're not building black power. These people out here, and I'm going off course, these people out here are more concerned with ideals than impact.
And now let me interject on that one, because see, one thing that a lot of people, they look at the narrative and they just look at it as if, okay, did Hawk just try to just take people and just boss up and bring people into a wildfire storm, and maybe like did it unbeknownst to other people? And listen, like he said, the original plan was to go to Richmond, Virginia, right? But we are activists, honestly. Like, we really are active activists. So like I said, the original plan was to go to Virginia. Washington wasn't the original plan. I actually did not want them to go to Washington particularly, but at the end of the day, like I said, our team, we moved the way we moved. So the reason why I said that was to say that just because Hawk says something doesn't mean that everybody behind him are all robots. I don't want people to think that this man, whatever he says and everything that he says and everything he embodies is what embodies of everybody and encompasses everybody's opinion or ideology within the group. The thing about Black Lives Matter Greater New York is that no matter what, everybody, whatever their position is, or their ideology is built and based off of black liberation and black unity and bringing black people together, regardless of whatever the situation is. We're not sitting here taking sides and criticizing each other based off of schematics, unfortunately, because that's what a lot of people do. They base their stuff off schematics, and then they say, okay, you know what? I don't want to deal with you based off of that. We're like, listen, as long as we move toward black liberation, that's what we're doing.
And you know what? I want us to go. That's so deep. That's such a rich subject. Ideological motivations, and so we have to hit to that. But I want to touch on something else, because I mean, me, as you know, with my experience in security and just, you know, my studying of battle. What's the mindset? Because
listen,
now, okay,
you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
And also, Brother Newsome, I want you to chime back in too. Because I mean, tactically, not that they ain't quote unquote suicide missions. I mean, and I get going into the lion's den.
No, you're
right. Because now we did face dogs and water hoses, so I know our people will get on the front line and be like, "Yo, throw your best at us." But I mean, to go into, so are you calculating that the worst I'm gonna get in is a fisticuff?
Listen,
and you're not thinking like you already identified.
The reason why,
this is open carry, or even when it's not open, folks is rolling with metal.
The reason why I'm answering
the
the
mindset,
question,
the last part of the question, what are you thinking in your head? How far are these exchanges possibly going to go? And if they go that far, how far are you prepared to take it in self-defense?
Now, it's funny as you say that, because like I said, me personally, I did not necessarily agree with the move. If you wanted to be right, I told that. I told him that. I spoke to him and I told him, like, listen, like, yo, Hawk, I didn't necessarily agree with the move, but This is why I said what I said earlier. Also, mistakes do happen. And that's why I say, you think I didn't, and this is why I say he's not the only person that necessarily, we have a check. You think I didn't chew his ass after that? And this is why I try to get people to understand, because everybody's looking at it and they want to come down Hawk Newsome, and then at the same time, they were mad at what he did, but people go on Facebook and then they wanted to tag people. I wasn't even in DC, okay? I get tagged also, and they say with people summoning people and saying Hawk Newsome and the members of Black Lives Matter Greater New York.
Now, hold on, let me stop you right there, because no matter what we doing it as a team.
Exactly.
Right? So let's get that right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
we move as a team. They quote unquote summons us. It's as a team.
Well, yo,
now,
definitely.
Aries didn't want to go. However, we had Bobby. We had Nepal, we had Amanda, we had a few other folks that was down to ride.
Oh no,
and
this
is what it is.
It wasn't necessarily down to. We was down to go. I was down to go to Washington originally. When we went down to, the only person that actually disclosed the thing to was Angie Kiers. I actually never even told Hawk that I wasn't necessarily. I didn't tell him that till afterwards. It was afterwards that I told him, like, yo, listen, I'm not really sure if that was good, but like I said. No one's to say that mistakes can't be made, and on top of that, we actually had a chance. We were trying to get elders to come with us, in the organization, prior to. And this is the reason why I brought up the fact that mistakes can be made. Right? People could look at things in hindsight and say that shouldn't have been done. Right? It's easy to do that, but when you go into people and you're trying to go to people and say, "Listen, we need your help." We need guidance. Why? Because we're moving strong and we know how we're moving. We know we need militant. We know I'm a militant brother. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Okay? And they brought up elders, right? One of the people that I actually learned from was Brother Shaka Shakur, who was supposed to be one of the elders that was there. That's why I actually wish I was at that meeting. I learned a lot from Brother Shaka Shakur, and to be real, one of the only reasons why I got with Brother Hawk Newsome is because Brother Hawk Newsome was the only person in New York City that was moving the way Shaka Shakur was moving. I also was hitting people up in their inboxes like Brother Shaka Shakur. I used to try to tell them, listen, we need you back in New York City. And this is before I was started moving hard body with Hawk Newsome. I was telling them, we need you back in the city because NYC activist leadership is messed up right now. There's too many petty things going on with these organizations, and that's the reason why I stopped being active in the first place, because I seen that was crazy. So rather than being active in New York, you know what I started doing? I started leaving New York City, following Brother Shaka Shakur's motto with the black soldiers, which Brother Samaj was also another person who was at that meeting, and he asked my number. He's another person who I was trying to contact before, also never got in contact with me.
Let's wait. Right?
Well, let me finish this.
I just want to lay this up because you're saying it, but I want to make sure they get what you're saying.
Yeah.
People are saying, where are your OGs? Where is your guidance? But he's saying right now that the people they brought to this council, he's been reaching out to counsel Black Lives Matter Greater New York, and they neglected, and they did not come forth and move with us. Now, and I'm gonna give it back to him, but I got you can't criticize people who reached out to you for help, for advice, and when they do something else, you don't. You find something to be wrong with that.
The reason why I said hold on, because for one, I'm never going to criticize Brother Shaka Shakur because I respect that man too highly, right? I respect that man way too highly. I'm never going to criticize him. But what I will say is the facts is that at times I have hit him in his inbox. Actually, even when I was in Atlanta, in the same state, and I was trying to get in contact with him when I was down there. You know, so I say that to say this. When we were moving and we're making all these strides and we're doing all this good work underneath this RBG flag, we're moving hard in the streets in New York City, walking down 125th Street, walking down Harlem with these RBG flags, and the RBG people will not mess with us just because they want to talk about the Black Lives Matter thing. But nobody's coming to us. Nobody's asking questions. Actually, you know what's funny? And I'm going to take the glass off for this. The way I got into contact with this brother Hawk Newsome, because I'm a hardcore Pan-Africanist, right? I'm dealing with Deborah Danik because I'm an activist. This woman was 66 years old and got killed by police, by an officer, by an overseer. I call them overseers. She got killed in her own crib by an overseer. That shit ain't right. So I'm a person, if it's in my backyard, it's the Bronx, I'm activating on it. I see Brother Hawk Newsome on Bronx 12. Black Lives Matter, red, black, and green. As a Pan-Africanist, you know what my job was to do? Say, what is up with that? First thing I did was got in this man's inbox. Yo, what's up with that, my brother? What's going on? We're not supposed to be, what red, black, and green and Black Lives Matter don't match. Am I lying?
Facts.
Black Lives Matter, red, black, and green do not match. My brother, I'm doing this. Come on, do the work. You know what? This is why I went back to my brother Shaka Shakur. Where the black soldiers was built off of, it wasn't built off ideology, it was built off if you doing the work. Amen. I said, you know what? Let me see if this brother doing the work. Me and this brother, sometimes just me and this brother, stood outside the Bronx DA's office almost every single day.
Wait, let me explain something to you, right? Strategic activism. So while people had a march and just said, Deborah Dana, and marched and were done, the day after we went in front of the Attorney General's office, okay, saying take this case under the power granted to you by the governor of New York State. Under that executive order, an individual has to be armed. We posed the argument, these are the legal skills, right? We posed the argument that a stick or a bat in the hands of a 66-year-old woman does not constitute a weapon, a dangerous weapon. Long shot, but we tried it. He punted because he's running for governor in 4 years. So if he messes up a case where a 66-year-old schizophrenic woman was murdered by a cop, if he messes up that case, he'll have a tough time doing what? Pulling the black vote in 4 years, because whoever's running against him will throw that at him. He let go of the case. It went to the Bronx. A new district attorney by the name of Darcel Clark. What we did was every single business morning for the next 2 months, we were out there with the bullhorn. What would you do if a 66-year-old woman swings a stick at you? Asking cops. What would you do? You duck, you dodge, you block. You don't shoot her twice in the sternum. Old people getting on the bus, senior citizens, hey, here's a flyer. Call Darcel Clark and ask her if she's going to give this woman justice. Petitions, sign up. We're going to keep the pressure on. We outside in front of a new district attorney's office who lived less than a half a mile from where this woman was killed, saying, hey, you sell us out, we'll vote you out. Now, you want to talk to me about fucking activism and knowing what you're doing? Criminal justice? I was a paralegal prosecuting cases in the district attorney's office right out of college. After that, I moved to the special projects, to the community affairs unit, working with different groups. I know the law. What you don't know is, every time I opened the file that said resisting arrest, the defendant had a knot on his head, had staples in his head, had stitches in his head. I know this game. I've sat there and watched young district attorneys walk into their supervisor's office and say, there's no evidence he did anything wrong here. And these same district attorneys turn around and look at them and say, look at his record, he did something wrong, find it. That predatory prosecution they talked about, I seen it from the inside before I went to law school. So people want to criticize me, but I've been doing this for a long time. Pan-Africanism, right? We pull from a bunch of different philosophies. I knew what red, black, and green was before I knew what the American flag was, right? Like, I'm a proud American. I don't denounce. My people built this country. As far as I'm concerned, it's ours, and we got to take what our share of it is back. That's it. No handouts. Not asking for nothing. We have to take control of what we need to take control of to get our share back. How do we do that? Organizing our people.
True.
Bringing our people together.
Hold that thought. Is there possibly a contradiction there, possibly in being a Pan-Africanist? Because the principles of Pan-Africanism is the collective all over the globe, all African descent coming under one. Now, our battle is to get our share of this. We built this. Our people. So, all right, you're trying to globally build a force. Like, there's a Pan-Europeanism. The French, the English, American, they are right locked in, and they routinely divvy up parts of the world, and because they got that clear brotherhood.
Right on.
So, could we get that as people of African descent and have a full-out waging war with these folks tooth and nail, trying to get something from them that they committed genocide to get and brutalization? So let's fight for some of their turf. Or are we going to build with our which takes precedent?
Now, me personally, I've worked with a diaspora before. You know what I mean? I've organized, I've hosted events for Pan-African diaspora, right? It was like some diplomats from the whatever. What you said, yes. That's why we help people in Haiti, right? That's why we're sending toys this weekend to Dominica.
Right. Which has your most allegiance? If there's a choice between those two, all our battle for getting our share of this or connecting with my brothers globally as a pure Orthodox Pan-Africanist. Because, I mean, can you serve both those masters?
I believe you can, right? I believe you can because you, like they always say, take care of home, right? Like, how I can't fix my house, but I can run around the world and fix everything. None of this is pre-packaged. I'm just talking to you like I talked to you. We were sitting outside, right? If I can't straighten up home, how am I going to straighten up the whole world? So yes, I could build here while coordinating with my people. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The cops were looking for me, right? Call me. Oh, you got to turn yourself in. You know. Whatever. That night, I was on a run on fucking Park Avenue in the Consulate General of Sweden's house. Tell me that ain't real shit, right? Building with the Afro Swedes, exchanging cultures with the Afro Swedes. What I do is real. We are building with the Afro Swedes, trying to implement Black History Month in Sweden. Right? And their numbers have grown exponentially, black people in Sweden in years. So what I'm saying is, yes, I'm willing to build with the global network, but I got to get right here. We got to build up strength here. How do we do that? By working together. How do we do that? We see somebody has the national spotlight on them. Instead of trying to tear them down, grab me, sit me down, and let's talk about how we going to run this the right way together. Instead of trying to tear me down, strength here. How do we do that? By working together. How do we do that? We see somebody has the national spotlight on them. Instead of trying to tear them down, grab me, sit me down, and let's talk about how we going to run this the right way together. Instead of trying to tear me down, right?
That might bring us full circle now. Was that an attempt at a sit down? Because we're kind of doing a hard left going right back to the summons in. Because, you know, we were going to address that. I did go to that meeting, and it was standing room only. And I looked around, I saw committed people. And it was a mixture of emotions. You know, I felt the connection they had to you. I also felt the anger. But it's an anger, it's a family anger. It's like the kind of anger you can only get at your brother or your sister. Because only your family can hurt you the most because you love them the most. Yeah. So it's not that I thought that love was lost, but it's definitely threatened. They did want to see you because you are their brother. They just wanted to say, hey, brother, explain this to us.
And they told they wanted to come for blood.
Okay. But
See,
this guy's a bad dude. He just walked into the lion's den.
And the thing was, honestly, one of the things was
that summon shit.
I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, seriously. Wait. Listen, and see, everybody know Hulk because Hulk is in Hulk. He's. But this is where I get upset. Okay, brother. Let me take you back, right? After Sean Bell, right? After Sean Bell, I'm a young activist working with October 22nd Coalition. Okay? I'm not new to this. After Sean Bell gets killed, right? There's a big, massive congregation that we had at the Masonic Temple where they had the Black Panthers was there. Or you say the new Black Panthers was there, but brother Malik Zulu Shabazz was actually speaking. I believe Polite was still a Nuwapian at the time. You know, I'm a young activist. For a long time, I've stayed a soldier and just watched my elders and just shut up. I shut the hell up. And I just watched and learned and observed and learned and sat back and learned and kept my mouth shut. At this meeting, right, people said that they were going to come together. This was supposed to be the same time everybody would be coming together, unifying. The Israelites were there. Like I said, everybody was there. I've seen a lot of different things come out from that meeting. Since then, and this is prior to all this YouTube and stuff, but since then now, his brother Polite ends up having a new government. He goes off, does his thing. Malik Zulu Shabazz, I still got respect for the brother. Actually, we had a conference, a national black conference in Cleveland, Ohio 2 years ago. So I'm saying I get around with this. I'm not new to this. So when people talk about elders, I get around. I speak to people. It ain't like we moving not knowing what the hell we doing. So when I see this thing, like I said, people know. I guarantee you, if I went to that room, a lot of people know my face also, and they would have been probably surprised. We see this thing on Facebook, and for it to be summoned, for one, that word summoned did not sit right with me because people want to talk about police. I feel oppressed when you're gonna tell me summoned. I come from the streets, okay? Summons, I only see, when I see a summons, I hear ticket. If you're coming after me, if we're gonna be something about black unity, and you guys felt threatened or felt mad at Hawk, cool. But once you start addressing the whole organization and say summoned, and you saying we're summoned, Hawk summoned, I'm summoned, people could have easily said they having a tribunal, which is the word that I came up underneath when things happen. With the black soldiers, a situation had occurred, which I'm sure that brother Samaj Kelly knows about, and there was a situation that happened within there, and they knew there was a protocols that happened when people were brought up on charges, supposedly, and there was a tribunal held with the elders. Okay. That's the way you're supposed to do it. As far as calling people out, man,
you were tagged, or you found you were in that group.
Yes.
Where we were summoned
by family,
brother. Like I said, I have a law degree, right? And I say this as respectfully as possible. If we are going to be the vanguard and the people at the front of this movement, from what I heard, the actual meeting was well organized. Mm-hmm. Yes. And presented well.
Yes.
So for me to get tagged on a post, which was followed by profanity after profanity, after divisiveness, after unorder, after chaos, why would I bring my team into that? Okay. Right? Why would I bring my team into that? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. You talk about strategy and being in these places. Mm-hmm. Charlottesville, when everybody ran, it was us on the front line, keeping each other together. I mean, we in D.C., we ain't butt naked. We ain't butt naked. If the shit got to go down, we ain't the only ones going to be hurt. Like I say about Charlottesville, we took some bumps and bruises, but we gave out more.
Okay, now let me give my answer because you posed the question like, why step into that? Now this is my second time meeting. And interesting enough, my second time interviewing you.
Right on.
And I'm still learning. Even when I sent you the text and set this up, it's like, brother, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm still assessing you. I'm still, looking a little like, whoa, what is this? What's going on? Who are you?
Yeah.
And you said, hey, you had no problem with that. So we move forward from that place. But you, how do you feel you are fully addressing this issue in a way that's serving your movement, your people, without there being any kind of contradiction?
You know what? I ain't perfect.
No one is.
I ain't perfect, right? People could say this about Hawk, his ego, they like to throw that one around. He got anger issues. I tried to work on those, him this, him that. But what I can tell you, the truth is, I love my people, right? And I'm educated, right? I got a BS in BS business, and I got a Juris Doctorate at law. So people talk about the way I speak. I spent over $250,000 to learn how to talk like this. You wonder why I could wow a crowd? Because I paid for this, right? And I studied. Like, I'm glad you said this with Pan-Africanism. Stokely Carmichael said, any serious movement for African people has to be rooted in Pan-Africanism. And I do believe in the collective. I do believe that we are connected, and I do what I've said before. Anybody who comes to America is white. I think I told you this. But when black people come, you're Jamaican. And a Jamaican, like you're a Yankee, you're a lazy Yankee, you're an African booty scratcher, you're a lazy American. Even our folks from down south, you're a country bumpkin. All we do is build walls, right? So, I sat down with some brothers over wings from the South African consulate, right? And just building. And my number one thing is, what do we need to get past in order to have unity? And that's ego. So that means me putting down my ego and saying, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what?
Or how about putting down the ego and getting past the term summit and say, these my brothers, they tripping.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting to know you, but brother, you seem like you can walk in the middle of that, and that seems like you built for that.
Yeah.
You built to walk into a room with what 99 to 1 type deal.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not go there? Because it was standing room only.
And you know what? Did you see? You're right. It wasn't presented like that. Did you see our declination? Did you see the way we declined? Did you read it?
I read it.
And what did it say?
And your statement, they read your statement. It was handled. The event was handled in such a balanced way. There was passions expressed, but it was balanced. There was no. I didn't. And I was new to some of the faces there, but they were the legends there. The brother you spoke of was there. The folks came out for this because this is so important. Red, black, and green. Folks have died for our liberation.
Yes.
Nobody else's.
Yes.
Ours.
Yes.
So
Okay.
those
I gotta challenge you on
mean a lot to
something.
a lot of people.
I gotta challenge you on something, right?
Feel free.
Red, black, and green, right? Now I told you before, there are gay people, LGBTQIA community members in our organization. How does the RBG community feel about homosexuality?
Can I express what I feel the opinion of it is?
As the whole.
And then for me, and I hope for those listening, anyone even hearing this topic, I put the emotion right on the side, right from the get-go. Because, there is the brother, the cousin, the people we love in that lifestyle. So I get what the conflict is. But if we can put that aside for a moment, and I'm just speaking purely tactical. And tactically staying on the planet requires certain things. It requires your people being produced. And on basic levels. So a philosophy that in any way undermines, our abortion rate's already insane. So many of us are being lost and brutalized in these various systems globally. So for us to survive on a strictly survival basis, I have to be a part of what's going to produce the unions that are going to keep our members here.
So
and only a man and woman can do that.
Right on.
And no disrespect for the people who are in those other modes, but tactically, it's almost an unadoptable position.
Would you say that's the position of most of the elders or the folks who were there present?
It would be so much hubris to seem to speak to them, but in this instance, I'll go out on a limb and say yes.
Yes. Okay. So that panel was based on a fallacy. How you gonna have and like I told you, I've worked with some of these gay people. I don't have anything against the gay community. What people do is their business, right? But how you gonna have a panel, a tribunal, and have gay organizations as a member when you are fundamentally opposed to homosexuality? So you are calling me out for disrespecting the set of rules that your judging body is not fucking applying.
Now think about that point.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
This is why.
Come on, you don't want to talk to me about purity of rules?
Man.
You called me
Man.
and said, listen, respect me. Respect me. I'm one of the hardest working groups in New York City. We produce results. The other night, I studied so many people. Abraham Lincoln, I like great leaders, right? Abraham Lincoln, when he gets mad, he'll write a letter to somebody, stick it in the desk, and never send it. I wrote a 15-paragraph response to that post and deleted it, right? You know what it said? It said we started last year, right? We started last year in the summer. We started with, I ain't voting until Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
We went to RNC. Skinhead said Black Lives Matter better not come. We jumped in the whip. We out there. Heavy, right? Had 10, 15. Nick Cannon met us. So now we got star power. CNN, TMZ, Hollywood Tonight, all saying what? If the Republicans and the Democrats don't represent black people, add us to your platform, then we are not voting for you. National attention. While niggas is chilling, right? Delron Smalls come back home. Delron Smalls killed or whatever, or maybe a little bit before. Delron Smalls killed. They have a march. Police mess up the march. I take what's left of the march, send people to the FDR. Fuck it, come and get me if you want to. Send them to the FDR. You take that block, you take that block. Ain't no way they gonna stop us from shutting down this highway tonight. People from that room was in there. We shut down the highway. So that's that. Deborah Dana gets killed. Like you heard it already. 2 months in front of the DA's office saying, convene the grand jury. Guess what happened? The grand jury got convened. Guess what happened? she didn't do that because she had a good heart or because the evidence was there. She did that because there was enough people making enough noise that if she fucked this up, she wouldn't get elected again. That's pressure.
After it was out of the news.
After it was out of the news. That's pressure, and research it in the New York Times. Everything I'm saying can be validated in Google. Anything. You talk about, oh, he always in the news. I'm always in the news because I'm there working.
Imagine what's not in the news.
like
People don't think about things like that. This is the reason why I get so passionate about this, because people don't understand the work that we put in. And honestly, when I first got with the brother, people don't understand. I got with the brother as a Pan-Africanist, and I took a lot of hell for it. I got brothers in South Carolina, brother Shakim Ahmed Aket, who's big out there, big RBG out there. Huge RBG. This button that I got right here, this Black Panther button, well, this button I bought from Brother Shep right here. This button right here, I got from the chairman of that Springfield New Black Panthers right here, Brother Keith Muhammad. I'm also in contact, who's reviewing the tape with Brother Eastern Regional New Black Panther chairman, Brother Hebel. So when people say that we don't have, they don't know what council we have, because people have never come to us, and we would go on to people. This is why I feel so bad. This is the reason why that council, or calm down. This is the reason why I feel so passionate in what I do, because when I'm calling for help and I'm going to people like, you know what, just come check us out. Come the same way. That's why hopefully moving forward, now that we have people's attention, hopefully we can all move forward, because the biggest stigma that held us back from people like wanting to join was just this Black Lives Matter, and the fact that everybody swore it was George Soros funded, everybody swore it was LGBT, everybody swore that. And the funny thing is, and this is what I told Hawk, I said it's crazy that it took for him to do the one thing that nobody liked. It took one thing that nobody agreed with for people to finally want to sit down and start asking these questions about our elders, for people to finally start asking questions when we was trying to go to these same people. So if we're trying to go to these people, why did it take for him to make the one move that everybody's saying, well, why did he do that? Oh, but did he do this? Oh, did this guy bring people did he think we brought people to DC? What? You're asking these questions now, a year later. They should have asked if I thought about it when I invited them. Because they got invited. Now, I appreciate what you're saying, but I won't go back to the work, okay? Because I challenge any organization there to put up a report card. For people to ask the questions as far as, is this the Black Lives Matter organization? Are they using them? It's like, no. For one, no. I'm not going to say that people couldn't think that, because, like I said, I didn't think about it, but once you said it, I'm like, wow, you know what? If I'm on the outside in, I may think the same way, you know? But that's what I said. My answer is, okay, well, right now, to me, being in this organization, right now, we're at the point that I was trying to get us to last year. And I don't mean as far as work, because you see the work that we can do that.
Right.
I mean as far as us uniting with our elders, with our people, so that way we can move forward. Because it's hard. This is one of my young scholars right here, right? You see this, right? This is my organization, Young Black Scholars Building Leadership Answering Questions. Now, I haven't even had time to even deal with things that I've been doing, because when you see a bigger cause, you go with it. So I'm moving with my brother, but at the same time, because I wanted to get more people in, and we weren't able to, we actually lost more people, because people started getting scared and believing in George Soros. So we actually had great people on our executive board who, when we were really moving, they end up even leaving because they started getting,
we gonna get killed.
Y'all
got money, y'all just ain't sharing
now, it. Now that we've been denounced by the global network, now that everybody knows now that, okay, they're not with the global network, now some people started coming back. Because now we can trust the fact that you guys are not that. But that's basically what I wanted to say. If you guys feel that way, it's the same thing. You guys can come, ask, ridicule. I told people, tear us down if you want to. That's what I told people. This brother, he told me, that's what I want. He said, I want people to come. You ask with all your questions. Come with anything you want. Because we're trying to prove to you guys, we're trying to prove to all our people that we are for Black liberation. If I put my face on the front lines right here, I'm literally my face. I walk through Harlem all the time. I walk through one of the hardest streets. I live on one of the hardest streets in the Bronx. The 44th precinct runs terror through my neighborhood. And guess what? We give them terror back. Unfortunately, fortunately, and unfortunately.
Same hood.
Four blocks from each other. And we 4 blocks from each other. And I didn't even know that.
Same hood.
So we it's not like we're dudes
same
that's
people
from.
We know.
We know same. I didn't even know that. So it's not like we from Riverdale, upstate, and no, we're real black brothers
Yeah.
who really came up in the hood, and we really doing it for our people. And it might be hard for people to believe that shit. It might be hard for people to believe that there's black people from the hood who's making noise like this. And now that he did the DC thing, whether people like it or not, we national right now. And now we have that, we need to bring people in, and we need to let people know, bring the elders. I love my elders. I love my elders, and I want y'all to come in because I personally, even just me, need to know how we're gonna move forward. Because if we're having a movement, and the vanguard with the Black Panthers, and I spoke also with Kathleen Cleaver, the honorable Kathleen Cleaver, and she's one of the.
What did you have on when you spoke to her?
Oh, I had on this Black Lives Matter shirt,
Okay.
and she told me that when they were doing their thing, they didn't answer to any elders. They made a lot of mistakes. A lot of people were looking at them in their own community. Black people were looking at them like they were crazy. Things had never been done before. We're trying to follow a protocol and a step of things that were already done and expecting it to work. Some people might have certain things, but sometimes you might have to do something a little bit to shake things up.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think this is a great segue. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make everyone believe that we are far away. Sun Tzu. My enemy will never know everything that I think. My enemy will never know how I truly feel about them. And if you want to let your enemy know everything about you and everything you feel, you go right ahead. All warfare is based in deception.
But how much should your comrades know about you? How much should the brothers could it be a hard left and they just got to keep up? Or
You know what it is?
Make this make sense to me. Let me know, and if possible, give me a heads up that this is coming.
If that's what it is, right? You call me like Aries called me. Fuck is you doing? Like, what the fuck? You gotta, who you picking
I
out?
shoot his ass out, okay? I don't understand
who
that.
you picking out? But I'm like, yo, Aries, let me explain something to you, right? We went in there ready to get it on, right? And they threw us a mean curveball. Like, you know what? Y'all boys, y'all Black Lives Matters won't come in here. We believe in freedom of speech, so here. Oh shit, right? What am I gonna do now? Like, if I go over here to the corner, I'm gonna look like a coward. If I take the message and go up and scream, fuck you, fuck Trump, I know anti-fasc, no platform for fascists, I'm gonna kick the microphone over, break the Trump statue. Yeah, you know what? They know that's how we feel.
Now, I probably would have did that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And I did it in Charlottesville a couple weeks ago. Got scars to prove it, right?
Yeah, but
right?
shit.
And
More than
I went up there and I'm gonna tell you this, like, he know I'm a hardcore Christian, right? Like, I stopped drinking. I don't do anything, you know what I mean? I don't have any vices. Like, I'm a hardcore Christian, right? I ain't perfect, but let me tell you this. I put it on God, right? When I went up on that stage, I just wanted those people, to understand who we are. Like, nah, we not extremists, thug, new word for nigga, terrorists. We not, no. We are educated. We are strong. We are organized, principled, ethical. Maybe not ethical all the time. We get dirty if we need to, but like, honestly, I just want them to understand.
But
Like,
you were pleading for their understanding of our humanity.
Hell
Like,
no.
hey, I am a human being, guys.
nah, you ain't gotta understand that I'm a human being. I want you to understand why I'm fighting. Like, why I'm fighting. Like, this is a valid fight.
Or it's why I'm fighting you and what you stand for.
Yeah.
So what was that?
But here's what you do. Here's what you do, right? Here's what you do, right? I'm gonna take what you believe in at your core, and I'm gonna flip it on you. Oh, you're American. Word. You believe in the Constitution? Word. You believe in justice for all? Well, why are you letting black people get choked on TV?
Yeah.
Because everything here is America. I'm an American. You're an American. Everything is America. So it's free, liberty and justice for all, right? Then why are you letting black people getting choked on TV?
Exactly.
Another thing that nobody aired. I don't know why they didn't air this, right?
Yes, you do.
I said,
You know why they didn't
no,
air it?
I said, I'm a Christian. I don't know if your Bible is different from mine, but my Bible says,
Love thy neighbor.
love thy neighbor.
Exactly.
And that neighbor doesn't have to be from the continental United States of America. All these ICE raids, all this targeting that Trump's doing, it's in black and brown neighborhoods. So here it is. Your Bible says, love thy neighbor, but you hating your neighbor that's around you.
Okay.
I'm exposing hypocrites.
Which I get, and by this, me having the advantage of my second interview, so I do remember this part. And I even opposed at that time, as eloquent and as good as you and many others may be, to swaying public opinion and swaying maybe some laws and getting, you mentioned Garner being choked out and swaying Sessions to see because of his base now putting fire because we won them over. I mean, can a generation from now somebody else win them back into the same direction? I mean, the Reagan years, I mean, different agendas come in. As Pan-Africanists, we will build something that will weather whatever storm these people. I mean, we can't be on the behest of how they feel about us. When they have the weapons, they have the economy, they have the power. That's why black power only concedes to an equal or greater power.
Right on.
If you're only just waiting for someone to give or grant you something
taking it.
as your survival
Yeah.
system, that's precarious, good brother.
I beg to disagree. I'm building power. I'm building a black voter bloc. I'm running my own candidates. Most importantly, not for those. You ready for this, brother?
Go.
That speech, and y'all gonna hate me for this, but as you know, Hawk Newsome really don't give a fuck. That speech, which went into so many American. Look at Aries putting his head down.
I don't even know what he's gonna say. I don't know what he's gonna say. I'm like,
That
oh,
speech that went into so many American homes got the white stamp of approval on it, right? So that means it's acceptable now, right? So that means black conformists could feel comfortable saying Black Lives Matter now, right? Because you think about Barack Obama. Y'all can hate me for this, but I'm telling you the truth. It wasn't until Iowa that black people got behind Barack Obama. It wasn't until the good white folks of Iowa said, oh, it's all right. So now, white people are saying it's all right for you to fight for your rights. Now, people who would never, I'm glad my live show, people who would never share, people who I know would never share Black Lives Matter stuff is sharing it. I'm sick of racism. I'm sick of the oppression. We just gave people the right to fight back. You ain't gotta see it.